Do you remember the Glenn Frey song, The Heat Is On? Well, it certainly is going to feel like it across the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast as we head into Tuesday. Temperatures here above normal, likely in the upper 70s and low 80s, but that's not the case across the Pacific Northwest. This right here is the culprit for the severe weather that looks like it's going to continue over the next couple of days. I do want to look at temperatures real quick, and then we're going to talk about the severe weather. This is going to affect a lot of you heading into Tuesday with above normal temperatures. We're getting almost now, into May. This is the 30th of April that we're looking at. Temperatures here, a good 10 to 15 degrees above average. Mid 80s here from DC, low 80s down to Norfolk, even across the south, very mild here. And then look back towards Missouri, up towards southern Illinois, St. Louis, we may push 80. I think arguably close to that anyway. Mid 70s for a lot of you. So a very mild day. Across the plains states, this is just hot here. We're talking about close to 90 for a lot of you in Oklahoma. Even up into Kansas, too. I mean, southern Kansas pushing 90 here. Either way, you're talking about mid-80s. And here's the problem with that. We're getting some Gulf moisture that's starting to return. Clearly, the heat, too, and some instability. That's going to lead to some severe thunderstorms, especially Tuesday afternoon and evening in these areas. That's the area the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted. A few tornadoes can't be rolled out either. It doesn't look like a super tornado outbreak, like a big, huge thing. But as we've seen, it just takes one or two strong tornadoes to cause some big problems. So stay weather aware on Tuesday in these areas. Hail, a lot of buoyancy in the atmosphere. Everything's going to want to be really destabilized by the afternoon. It's going to want to rise fast, and that's what's going to cause those big updrafts and hail. And as this system kicks off to the east, this is the culprit, this big low back here across Canada. I'm going to back things up. This is actually on Thursday. So here we go. Monday night, now into Tuesday, right here, this short wave, if you will, that's really pinwheeling around this big low here. This was what's going to bring the severe weather to Iowa, also southern parts of Minnesota. Now we're watching the second round of energy that's going to pinwheel around this low, or short wave trough, if you will. That will swing through the plain states for Wednesday. Storm Prediction Center already highlighting this area for severe weather into Wednesday afternoon. So a couple of days of severe weather ahead. Now, let's take a look at what happens after this. Across the east, we stay warm. Below normal temperatures, though, here into the northwest and also across the northern plains, too. We'll start to see that lift out a little bit. And then, look, another big storm starts to roll into the west coast. That could drop snow levels once again as this active weather pattern continues. Let's quickly talk about the severe weather elements as we head into Tuesday. A decent jet streak. This is tomorrow afternoon moving through this area at the in the mid levels of the atmosphere. At the surface, strong southerly flow developing. That's going to bring in a lot of moisture. Watch these dew points just really rise in this area as that southerly flow, boom, develops. And then now that we've got the energy in the atmosphere, we're going to get that lifting mechanism moving through. And bang, there go the thunderstorms. They really start to pick up as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Some of those, again, severe with a few tornadoes. And I think this is interesting. Notice how these cells are starting to bow out, at least the model's picking up on that. So I think they're going to get linear. There could be some tornadoes wrapped up in these cells, but damaging winds and hail, I think that's the big threats widespread anyway. Rain showers moving off to the east tomorrow through the day Tuesday into the northeast by the time we get into the afternoon and evening hours. And then here comes your big storm across the central plain states with snow and rain still going across the Pacific Northwest. We're quiet across the southwest, also into Texas at least part of the day. Now, as we move toward Wednesday, things definitely start to change. We start to see the moisture increase, and then those thunderstorms will stick around into Wednesday night into Thursday as well. Now, this rain will start to lift toward the Great Lakes as that low. I mean, this looks almost like a repeat of what we've seen now for the last 3 or 4 storms, continuing to move right toward the Great Lakes into southern Canada. They weaken as they do so. Again, pinwheeling around this pool of cold air back here across the Pacific Northwest. That's also keeping you pretty mild across the east, too, at least above normal. Here comes another round of rain for the Appalachians into the Great Lakes, all the way into the deep south as we get into the weekend. And, oh my goodness, this is another area of low pressure moving toward the Great Lakes. We may be dealing with another one. This one doesn't look as strong, and we finally start to see that broad trough lose its grip across the Pacific Northwest. Now we've just got a storm moving through and the weather pattern trying to shift up a little bit now as we head into the 6th and 7th of May. All right, that's all I got, guys. I'll catch you next time.